Namaste. I'm Nikita. I'm an award-winning business entrepreneur and coach. I love mentoring people to set up their businesses from a soul-led place. For me, I've been running my dance and yoga studio for the past 20 years, and every decision that I have made has come from my intuitive, wise, higher self. If you've been following me for a while, you will know that I talk a lot about the lower mind and the higher mind. And I encourage all new business owners to really tap in to that higher self so that you start to create a business from scratch from this heart-led place. So many people start businesses just because they think that it's going to be lucrative. That is, of course, very important, but it's not the only reason to start a business. We discussed the P's in my previous session. If you haven't watched that, please go back and watch that video before this one. It's really important to follow the order because they are consecutive. So in this session, we're going to talk about why it's important to have strategy in business. Now, so many people I know are starting to be wellness practitioners, for example, or holistic therapists, and they don't necessarily have a strategy. So what I mean by strategy is a reason for doing what they're doing and a plan. I guess another word for strategy could be plan. So all they're doing is trying to get, say in the example of a holistic therapist, they're trying to get one person to book. That's their plan. They don't have a plan beyond that plan. So say for example, they advertise on social media, they get one person to book, that person comes, and then that person goes home. That's it. They don't have a plan. So a plan could be, okay, I'm going to get that person to book and then I'm going to try to upsell them into a course of treatments. Another plan could be, okay, I'm going to get that person to do that one-off treatment and then I'm going to set up a referral scheme and say, if you recommend somebody, I'm going to give you £10 off or something like an incentive. But what I see is that all people are doing is just trying to get that one person to book, and then there's no follow-up. And then all they're doing is then trying to get another person to book and another person to book and another person. So it's not actually building up their business over the longer term. All it's doing is just giving them a very short-term income, if they get enough people. In the wellness practitioner example, I know a lady that does sound baths, but she does them so ad hoc that people that come to her sound bath, the first question they ask when they're about to leave is, when's the next one? And she doesn't have an answer. She says, I don't know, it depends on this and it depends on that. And she doesn't give them the date, and they're ready to book. They're a warm audience. They're already nurtured because they've already had the experience. And yet a strategy for her would be to say, these are my next dates, or at least the next one if she doesn't want to book too far ahead. So it's so important to have a strategy, to have a plan. Like, what am I doing this for? Is it just to get that £50, or is there something more? So one of my strategies, for example, is selling people into a course. So I do let people come for an individual treatment because I'm aware that some people like to try before they buy. So they come, they pay for a one-off, and then after that, before they leave, I try to lock them into a course. Now that's not because I want their money or anything like that. Again, it's coming from a soul-led place. It's because I know that I'm going to be able to help them with the course. I'm going to be able to really work on their chakras, rebalancing them, removing stagnant energy. However, I'm also very honest as well. And if I think that they don't need a course, I will also say that. But I will also perhaps suggest something else that they may benefit from. I'm quite lucky that I have a vast suite of offerings. So I might say, okay, well, actually, your chakras are not that bad. You don't need a course, but I think you'd benefit from coaching or from a workshop or retreat or something else. And then it's up to them whether or not they want to take that on. But if I didn't have a plan, I would just let that person come, they would go, and then I'd get frustrated with myself because it wouldn't lead to anything. And then again, I'm using all my energy to try and get new leads. So that's the real tip for today. Have a plan. Know what it is that you want to offer. And remember, I said in one of my previous videos, make sure that the offer is aligned with what you want to be doing. So I gave my own example about how I wish I had taken people, signed people up to a complete journey from the beginning, whereas I didn't do that. I let them hop on, hop off, do one workshop, do one retreat, do a few treatments, and then go. And then when I check in with them 6 months later or a year later, they haven't necessarily had that major transformation that I know they could have had they stuck to something longer term. So what I'm doing now, I'm in the process of transitioning my business model to make sure that people do book in with a number of sessions or a course or something like that. So again, I said that I do allow people right now to only do one-off treatments, but then my plan is longer term to enroll them into a course and to eventually not even let people do one-offs, to straight away get them to book into a course. But of course that takes a kind of phased transition to get to that point, because you have to have quite a big following in order to be able to be that selective and say to people, well, you can't book a one-off, you have to book a course of sessions. So I hope that this has helped, especially if you're working in the wellness space. I think that's really important to be able to start as you mean to go on, and to be able to give people what you really think is going to help them. So I remember a coach said to me, Nikita, by not offering them a course, all you're doing is just putting a plaster on their wound. You're not actually fixing their wound. And that really hit me. And actually it kind of made me angry when she said that, angry with myself, because I thought, well, no, I know that I can fix their wounds. I know that I can get to the bottom of what it is that they have, problems with. They call it pain points in marketing. I know that I can really help them, but I'm not helping them because of my own fear, because I'm afraid that if I only offer a course, they're not going to book on. So that was a real lesson for me. And ever since then, I've been working on this transition to be able to shift my business model so that I offer people what I know I can do. Like, what's the maximum capacity that you can give them? Is it just 1 hour of relaxation? If you're a facialist, for example, you do facial treatments, do you want to just give them 1 hour of 1 hour of relaxation? Or do you want to give them really good skin longer term? And then, let's use that example of reflexology. Do you want to give them 1 hour or 1.5 hours of really nice reflexology? Or do you want to really work on their organs and meridians and all of the things that reflexology works on? So it's like, what is the bigger outcome here? What do I really want to be helping my clients with? And for that, I need a strategy, I need a plan. And that's why it's so good to work at that stage with a business mentor or with a business strategist to really help you to break down all aspects of your business and think about, okay, what's my long-term vision? How am I going to get to that? What do I need to be doing? And that's where we do number tracking and funnels and all the technical things that you may have heard about but not necessarily understand. Because if you don't do that, all you're doing is going to just be getting by, doing one sound bath every 6 months, doing one reflexology treatment, one facial, one beauty. Like, you're not actually going to build up a steady flow of new clients and also maintaining your existing clients, which is ultimately what business is all about. I hope that's helped. Please share in the comments. I really do want to know if you've taken away anything at all from this video. It really encourages me to decide whether or not I'm going to make more videos. So please comment, share, connect with me on social media. If you are interested in business mentoring, working with me one-to-one to set up your new business or side hustle, then get in touch. I offer a free complimentary coffee call, and this is an opportunity for me to find out a bit more about you, about your vision, about your purpose, and then see if I can support you in any way. Please get in touch if I can. Thank you. Namaste.